Hello, Jeffrey here for NBots. Today we're going to go over our 1 pound Antweight that we made for Cirque in 2018, Commander Cupcake. As you can see, it's a 2-wheel drive. I hesitate to even call it a wedge, pusher. It's got a piñata on top, and I'll just answer that question right away. Yes, it has candy in it. It did not when I started the event. So I'm just going to take some of this tape off here so you can see things better. So this robot went 2-2. It won its first match and then lost two matches, and then it had a grudge match against Sky Shark, and it won that. So 2-2, which isn't bad for essentially found robot. So the story of this robot kind of goes, day before the event, I was walking through Walmart because I had to pick up a couple of things, and I walked past their party supply aisle, and then I stopped in my tracks and took about 2 steps back and turned, and I saw this thing because I'd caught it out of the corner of my eye. And I was like, how can I not buy this and make something out of it last minute? I figured if someone dropped the event, I can enter it, and the crowd will love it and all that stuff. So I got home and I was looking at this thing for a good 10-20 minutes, and then I saw I have a cardboard tube. So this cardboard tube isn't a standard cardboard tube. It's actually from a Cricket vinyl tube. So what I did is I hot glued some GA25 motors. I believe they're 800 RPM. Ooh, that's a reasonably good nick. I didn't see that before. Ooh, it's got one on this side too. Huh. Spins freely still, so that's good. So I'll be taking this apart, so I had these GA25 motors that see, this one's kind of buggered, I think, that I hot glued into the tube. Actually, everything will pull out now. So the body is literally, I cut a patch and then folded it up like this and hot glued it to the robot, to the piñata. And then I had 2 rubber bands and a piece of cardboard that just went over this. And then I just opened the battery up and took it in. And that was it. Simple as that. And here's my, that's it. Got 2 GA25 motors. This one's worked free on the hub. Oh, this one's totally buggered. So that's from the Rumble. But I got a DESC. I've put some hot glue on it so that the wires wouldn't move around too much when I was cramming the battery in and out, and Lemon RX receiver. And that's that. That's Commander Cupcake. So I want to talk about the things that it did well and the things that it didn't do well. So I built this robot. It literally took me 45 minutes, and I have to say that I'm really impressed with how it turned out. I used a, not shown here, is a 3-cell 370 milliamp battery that got killed at the event. But when it got eviscerated in the Beetle Weight Rumble by Ataxia. So I built this robot pretty much with the sole intention of it being an art bot. I didn't intend for it to, win the competition or anything crazy like that. And it definitely accomplished its purpose. Everyone who saw it just had a big smile on their face. Everyone was like, is there candy in it? And originally there wasn't. But I was 2 ounces light, and one of the other teams graciously donated some fireballs, which in fact, I wonder if there's any left. Nope, they fell out the bottom. So now it's candyless. But the yeah, so everyone had a big smile on their face. Lots of people wanted their picture taken with it. The kids loved it. Got lots of cheers whenever it was up. The first match, it won by pushing its opponent into the pit, which I think surprised everyone because, they didn't think it would have that much traction. But because it had such a wide stance, I was able to turn into them, and the 1 7/8 Banebots wheels are pretty grippy. The gearbox is actually, I didn't Loctite these, so that's something I should do. The gearboxes are pretty good, so I think that really surprised everyone. And the other wedge I went up against, my second match, was a 4-wheel drive wedge, and he just had more contact with the ground than I did, and his shape, because I'm a tube and his was a wedge, he would always win getting underneath me because there was no wedge on this. So the opportunity to win just wasn't there. My only hope was that he accidentally drive into the pit, which I pretty much did to myself, if you watch my match review. So then my third one was against a generic spinner that was using one of the FingerTech spinner hubs. And I talked to the guy beforehand, and he was really, really confident that he was going to cut me to shreds. But with one of my previous robots, Death by 1001 Cuts, I had experienced fighting a robot similar to Cupcake. It was a RC car that had a giant foam block on it. And what had happened is I spun up and ran into him, and my blade got caught in the foam. And I had a strong suspicion that was going to happen in this case with the cardboard. And then, since we were attached together quite firmly, that it would be a battle of drivetrains as to who would go into the pit. And so, sure enough, he got one hit on me, which was this hit here, I think. I think this is the hit. And then it got hit in the same spot twice. But this was the other hit. It was like maybe that big, where he hit me again. And then what had happened is he got caught. And everything was kind of going according to plan as far as I was concerned. But there's one little problem that I encountered, which was that his robot was here. And every time he'd pivot on the blade, which was stuck in me. And every time I would go to push him, he would pivot around like this, and his wheel would touch my wheel like that. And so this wheel would stall out. So then all I could do was pivot in a circle if he turned into it, which he kept doing. And so we had a struggle back and forth for the pit, and ultimately he turned at the last second, and one of my wheels went over the edge, and he was able to pit me. But it very, very nearly went the other direction. So Anyways, I think that's about it for this robot. It's definitely coming back. I don't know what way, shape, or form it's going to come back. If you have any ideas, leave them in the comments below. And when I get to building a new version, I will definitely be posting it on YouTube. So thanks for watching.